Sorry, my webcam. Hey everyone, it's Astra, and I do not have good news. No, I do not have good news. Well, I have some good news. I feel a bit better, mood-wise, actually. I'm kind of out of the consistent spiral, at least for now. Kind of a bit like the emotional spiral. Um, the bad news is that it's becoming more and more likely that I have Giardia from my cats. Um, Now the reason why this is because there are a couple reasons. So number one, the timing makes sense. We got our cats around 2 to 2.5 weeks ago. At this point, more 2.5 weeks ago, and possibly even more than that, maybe 3. And we thought at first that they had coxilla. If you remember, I made a previous video on how I told people that I thought, I told people that we thought they had coxilla in my Why Maids Should Be Legal video. And we actually got the test results back, and the cats had Giardia. And at first I was really freaked out, but then I realized, and then I looked up that cross-species transmission is not very likely. Sorry, um, cross-species transmission is not that likely. And and so for a long time I thought, for the longest time I thought, I mean, I obviously didn't want to do something stupid like handle their poop without caution, because it spreads through fecal matter. Um, but it's, fast forward 2.5 or 3 weeks later. Even a little before that, I started having initial symptoms like not eating or drinking properly, which at first I thought was caused by other things. Like, for example, I intentionally took taurine and caffeine, and so I thought that, um, I thought that my thirst and hunger was primarily caused by like a stimulant rebound, so to speak. So yeah, I started having symptoms like that, and then all of a sudden, my dad this morning was like, "Yeah, I've had some very bad like intestinal symptoms. Now we aren't throwing up, right? And this is one of the indicators is that if this was a common stomach bug like norovirus, we would be throwing up. But instead, it's the other exit route, so to speak, where we're having symptoms, particularly inflammation before having to use the bathroom, so to speak. And actually, right now, I'm having a problem where, as you could tell in several points in this video, I have very itchy skin as well. Like, I have itchy skin right now. So, and this is quite unusual. So, I've been having, basically, we got exposed 2.5 weeks ago to cats that we know that have Giardia. We know it's not norovirus because the symptoms are just not the same. There's no throwing up. The symptoms have lasted too long. So the timing makes sense. The norovirus not being norovirus makes sense. And the symptoms make sense. Like having abdominal cramps, right? I feel very hungry all the time right after I eat. Like, I feel very, very hungry now. I know it sounds paradoxical because I just said, not too long ago I felt like I couldn't eat. But now it's like whenever I get really hungry quickly again. Um, when I do use the bathroom, it's not like the worst in the world, so to speak, but it's like I don't want to be too graphic here. Let's just say it's something's wrong, right? It's not the worst thing ever. It's not like, what you see at Taco Bell, so to speak, but it's bad, it's unusual, and I have usually a lot of cramping before I go. So I didn't think that my dad and I possibly could get a parasitic infection like Giardia from cats, since it's very rare, so to speak. Like it's very it's it's not common for cross species transmission, so to speak. It's usually if it infects cats, it does not transmit to humans. But in this case, because my dad and I now have these symptoms and the timing and everything, it's likely that we now have Giardia, and that now we're gonna have to go to the doctor and get like stool tests and get anti-parasitic drugs. I don't know how much those are gonna cost. My dad and I were actually planning a trip to Maine soon, and I was gonna film that. We were gonna go up there for a couple weeks and look at property. So yeah, um, basically, yeah, that's all I really have to say. Is that I'm not really in an emotional like spiral right now. I'm not super sick. Like I feel like norovirus would be much worse, but the thing is with norovirus is that it goes away within 24 to 48 hours. With Giardia, it can take 2 to 6 weeks according to the CDC, and since when symptoms first appear. And the thing about this illness that's very interesting is it kind of goes in waves. So I was really tired. I had to use a lot of my energy to actually get up and make this video. But it's not the worst, and it's like it comes in waves. Like it's not necessarily like a chronic kind of thing. It kind of comes in waves. So yeah, that's how I can describe it. But basically, I guess this is also my announcement video for Maine, because I'm gonna go to Maine, and like my dad and I were, and we'll do some fun stuff there. But I just wanted to give a quick update on that. If we get tested and diagnosed, then I will make everyone aware. But I just felt like coming on and saying that. See this? This is not me making it up. This right here is not me making it up. So that's how you know that something is really off. Anyways, see you all. Goodbye.